here, what kind of relationships do we have? Okay, let's start with the calculation for A. How do we calculate A? What ideas do we use to calculate A? All right, if there is something that you should start by asking yourself is, what's the relationship between A and the angle that is already known? Hey, think about this. I'm saying, what's the relationship between A and the angle that's already known? I'm not talking about the angles that are not known. Like, I cannot focus on the relationship between A and B for now because I don't know what that B is. Unless I know it, well, I may consider it. But for now, I don't have any idea of what that B is. So I'm going to think from here. What's the relationship between A and 60 degrees? Because we already have a number. So these angles, I will need to write them as numbers. Yes, you could say A and C are related. Yes, all the angles, they are related in some way. But let's try considering them with some numbers, right? Okay. And I see that there's a straight line here. And there's a straight line and these angles are next to each other. So that's a clue. When they are next to each other, what do? When they're next to each other, they are supplementary. Adjacent angles are supplementary angles. Yes, that's really good. So we go A plus 60 degrees. We are supposed to get 180 degrees. What's the reason for that? It's because they are angles on straight line. Wow. So what do I do to solve for A? Make sure that this goes to the other side. You isolate that A. That's solving for A. 180 degrees minus 60 degrees. Remember, when you cross the equal sign, the sign changes. Watch other videos for that if you are confused. A is equal to 180 subtract 60. We get 120 degrees. That's cool. Now I have my A here, 120 degrees. What's next? What do I have to calculate? Okay, let's go for B. How do I calculate B? What's the relationship between B and the other angles that the other angle that I know, especially this one? Maybe I made a mistake when I was calculating this one. So I don't want to rely on the things that I have calculated. Now, if there is an original, when there is an original, we are always happy to relate with the original. So we are saying for B, I would be very glad if I understand that B is vertically opposite to 60. So if they are vertically opposite, what do we say? Vertically opposite angles are equal. They are supposed to be equal. If the two angles are vertically opposite, then they are equal. So in other words, our B is equal to 60 degrees. What's the reason? Vertical opposite angles. Hey, do we really write all that sentence? Isn't there any other short way like the way we wrote here? Don't worry, there is. We say these ones are vertical opposite angles. Like this. We are done. That's the reason. Don't just leave the reasons, ladies and gentlemen. We need the reasons why you are saying they are equal. So let's go for C. There are now several ways to calculate C. We could use A and C are equal because they are also vertically opposite. Or we could say that C and B, because now we know our B, so we could say C and B, they are adjacent on a straight line, so they should add up to 180, so I can deal with them. Or I can relate this to the original. But remember, it's always so great to relate things to the original. But you also find out that after calculating, even though you are relating to the original, you are also going to find out that these two angles are equal because of the vertical opposite angles. So let's try to find out. So C and 60 degrees. So we are saying C plus 60 degrees. They are supposed to give us 180 degrees. What's the reason for that, guys? What's the relationship between C and 60? The relationship is because they are adjacent angles on straight line, but we just write this and we will understand. So we take 60 to the other side, that C is equal to 180 minus 60 degrees, okay? So we are going to have our C is equal to 120 degrees. Wow. So do you see that if I had used the fact that C and A are equal because they are vertically opposite, I would still get the correct answer. Do you still see that? Well, that's great. That's how mathematics is. Everything works so perfectly fine. Well, so how about you try this? This is a straight line and this is a straight line. And I am given that this is 130 degrees. 130 degrees. May you find A, B, and C. How would you calculate A, B, and C? This is for you.